the bigger the knife, the easier to cut knife, because you can hold more sturdy. If the knife is like this, it swings easily. So I use the big knife to cut this. This is called pushing. There's another movement called the cutting. You cannot cut down like that. But smooth line you usually push. But for long lines like that, you may start from several points, because it tends to cut deeper and deeper. So the longer you cut deeper, and then you cannot push further at some point. So you need to start from the middle of a long line to do.
Are you doing the hardest part first, so that you don't spend a lot of time on your carving and
very
mess
smart,
it up
very
in the hard
smart.
part? Is that what you're doing?
That's very smart. So I should do this circle thing. I think that's the hardest part. So you want to do this the little. If you fail something, if you cut out the circle, you have to start over again. Right? So you do the hard part first. I usually don't use this tool, but you can if you want to avoid cutting your fingers. Okay. Because I always turn the stone when I cut the circle. I have to, it's difficult to turn the stone with the clamp. Let me do the circle just before I do the other part. It's hard to do the circle, so you have to divide it into several strokes around it. You can do it from the square and then going close and close to the circle. So, do you remember the smooth side on your left side? Or if you use a left hand, it's opposite. The left side will be smooth. Don't use the pointed side if you have the knife, in sharp. This difficult. You use the flat side to cut. Always. The pointed side is for modification purpose, like taking out a little dot or something, more precision cut. Normally we don't use the pointed side. Okay, this will be edited out. The work costs $120 to do. So you make $100 today if you do it yourself. So I'll help you to finish it for sure. This is like a skill, any skill. It takes years to develop. Right? So I had, like I said, I have some students become very good at it in my class.
Do you ever wear eye protection or need eye protection?
To protect your
for
your
things
eye?
Flying in your eye?
I think not really. The eye it's not really in the air. It's pretty much on the table. To protect your numb, you don't want to blow it. So I always use my thumb to just rub it. That's why I like this permanent ink. It will not be rubbed off. And another thing is to protect your hand. I use this 2 fingers hold the stone, so it will not lose control. So I use 3 fingers to like a pen to cut, and then use the ring finger and the small finger to hold the stone as a brick. So it's very, I think the chance to cut your finger is lower than cutting fingers, you know, by using a kitchen knife, cut an apple, something like that. So you don't, when you close to the margin, be careful not to push too hard. So this serves like a brick. It holds the stone, give you a guide.
Does your implement ever get dull where you have to sharpen it?
Oh no, but with the steel knife, you may need this normal steel knife. It can get curved, you know, like. But this one is a hard alloy metal. It's very hard than the stone. You will never need to sharpen it. Actually, if you got dull knife, it does nicer job. It's like engraving, you know, not cutting. Mm-hmm. You kind of push it. You'll see how it works. Actually, not really using the cut. It's more like yeah, I think the engraving kind of mechanism. You know, it's like chisel. It's not. So this stone, the one I'm using is a little harder than the one you get. So I'll give you some practice stone to begin, so you can get a feel of the knife and the stone. So you know what it does mean. You know, one side is coarse, the other side is smooth.
Do these stones have a grain?
Yeah, it has some kind of sand in some part. It's harder than the other. So some stone very even, some not. So if you got some sand, very hard to carve, you have to get around or use more force to overcome. The grain is like an even part. Yeah, it's not even. You always have, you know.
I mean, by the grain, does it have a certain way it likes to cut, like like beef? All the sinew runs a certain way. Or
they may have some cracks like that, but when I design, I may consider that, because if the crack goes this way, you will consider the effect of the faults.
Right, because like soapstone will split along a fault.
Yeah. I had that
like
the other day.
Not soapstone, slate.
Soapstone, it's an
slate.
It's like this.
Yeah, there are grains for sure. There some, so the vertical, or you see the cracks. Yeah, sometimes. So I will design based on the crack. I don't want to. If I don't want it to crack this way, I may change it. I will consider that. But this stone, since they made anything that comes with a sculpture, is a good stone, because it's basically a better stone. Mm-hmm. So they can make a knob, right? What's called with sculpture. They already carved it. So this is a good stone actually. It's a very even, but it's crispy. It's a little harder than normal. So this we call scooping, flowing, or you call it. So you basically do the margin around the stroke, then you take out all the background. This yang or positive carving is much easier than in. You can kind of work it out with first of all cut the margin little by little, and then you just scoop the background. So it's relatively easier than the other way. You cut the stroke itself. For me, it's about the same. the corner, we always make it like a metal sculpture. There's like a rounded corner. I call it. You know, we don't make a corner look like this. We make the corner more like this. Right? It's like a wire with joints. What do you call this? Knot. Knot, right?
Which corner are you speaking
Any crossing line, you don't want to cut through the corner. So you leave room and then make it rounded, basically. But some small ones I just cut directly because I'm more skillful now, so I can do it both sides in one cut sometimes. I just vary the angle, so it goes thinner or heavier, like that. It's not very difficult, but it's a craft. You need to practice to get a feel. So I roughly cut the main part, like you said. So 90, maybe 75% is done. Then I do little fine works because in case something chip off, I have to start over again. So I don't concentrate on great details at first. So just basically cut the. You can leave room for fine tuning, so you don't cut 100%. So now I'm going to work on the margin. We want the rectangle, so this has to be like a slope. This is another way holding the knife. That's the only time I use this method. So there pushing method and there you hold like a pen, or you use the grab method. It's more powerful. You use wrist mostly. Just use wrist. You can also cut this position, but I never do that. I use this for large cutting like that.
Oh, you bevel on it. You're putting a bevel on it.
Yeah, because he wanted it thinner. He didn't want a square.
All right, that's a bevel.
Bevel, yeah, bevel, yeah. You can make it a step if you like. So you can cut it straight down, but it's more. I think if it's bevel, if you press hard, it will show more the border. Yeah. Some artists like cut in a step, 2 steps.
Well,
you can also do that, but I just do the bevel. Yeah.
Well, that would be weaker.
Yeah, that would be weaker. So we want it to be strong. So I want to round the corner also. The corner should always be rounded in all styles. It just make it the like an old TV monitor shape. It looks much nicer than the square, more organic.
Less likely to cut the paper. The rounded corner won't cut the paper.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh yes, that's a good point.
No, that's very important.
Oh, okay, so it rounded the corner, rounded the edge also. Okay, that yeah. Thank you for that reason. I didn't think about that. Yeah, if you have
all you have to do is poke a hole in it a couple of times, and you'll remember it.
Oh, that's because the corner is too sharp.
Yeah, the sharp corners make a...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have some room for that. So you can round the corner, or the margins also. You can start to making imprints to see how it look like. You can also keep doing the fine tuning. So because I can see the effect without making imprints. So some extra point I can see, I can just take it off before. You will see lots of extra points, grains, if you make early imprints because you cannot see them, but you will show off. So basically I do scooping flooring, what do you call this? Before I do that, it's for large areas. You may not need to use this motion. I call it flat, like a scooping, with a small knife. So take all the grains. And the small areas like this would be more careful. You don't need to use the flat knife. You use the corners. So take it little by little. I use a small knife to fine tune some of the. Just like a calligraphy, we want to keep all the stroke without the tip, or like a bristle kind of look. You want to drop everything, hide the tip of the knife, just like you hide the tip of the brush. Same idea as a calligraphy. Okay. So make the smooth, make the stroke very smooth.
It's a pretty green stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very nice, nice stone. Very good. It's called the Qingtian, green field.
Can you do these seals on anything besides soapstone?
It would be hard on jade or any kind of hard stone, because it's difficult to cut, of course. And there are many other optional stones, and I have students who found something granite or something in Italy. He found some alternatives. I don't know what kind of stone. He's a construction or interior designer, so he's familiar with stones there in Italy. I haven't found anything in US that could be maybe soapstone. I haven't found ready-made soapstones, so that's why I haven't really.
So these are going to be all soapstone?
Yeah, I think mostly soapstone will be fine, as long as it is carvable. I think I would make it just a little thicker than the design. It would look more powerful to me. And send the proof to the client to see if he likes to make it finer before we go further. Oops, I think there was a grain, something chip. If some minor chip, you can sand it to kind of partial redo it until also there's a possibility that even you hurt the line, the line will still show in the print when you press. It's like a relief rubbing. It's not perfect level, so you could when you press more, the line gets thicker. So some style you want to press hard, some you want to use less pressure when you make an impression. Let me just do a quick imprint. Okay. So you can use an old toothbrush or some brush to dust it, or I can just use this paper towel, dust it. You want because the ink is oil based, so water may be not a good idea to wash it. I do wash them sometimes. You can wash it with soap to clean it occasionally, but okay, that's the initial carving. And I want to make, let me just put on this design here. You can compare with this design, and I put some padding. It's a rubber pad. You can use a magazine. Okay, this is the seal paste. We use oil-based ink. it has some kind of fiber. It's part of the ink. It's not cotton. It comes with the ink. So from the flag of the reed, I think. Yeah.
They don't use any mercury in it, do they?
This one doesn't come with mercury, but some of them still, very traditional ones.
Yes. And some of the new ones still come with mercury?
The new one, they will say 朱砂 if it comes, but the one we have is called, I think, different. It's not mercury. But mercury is not really toxic, by touching, I think. I mean, it's not mercury, it's 朱砂, it's a cinnabar.
We used to play with it in school.
Yeah, cinnabar. Okay.
Yeah, cinnabar. Well, yeah,
cinnabar.
but we used to get the mercury and roll it around on the desk.
Okay, so I'm not really worried about that because some serial engraver lived 100 years old without any problems. So yeah. Cinnabar is still the best quality color. It's permanent. So this is okay. Well, it's thicker than the design. We can make it thinner. So I will do the polishing later on. Yeah, that looks much better, right? The center stroke is still too thick, and I will modify that a little bit further. So what you do is cut on both sides of the stroke. Just repeat a little bit. I realized the hand-drawn design is not perfectly straight, so we need to keep that kind of handwritten signature seal look for this special signature mark derived from Indian Native American creation story. Okay. Here is my collection album. I have all the recent works in this album, and the previous ones are all published in the ebook with 270 imprints. And you can check the link with this video and find all the other videos with that book. Or on YouTube. Okay, that's the symbol of the creation and signature mark for Daniel. And I'm going to do a imprint for Daniel as well. finally, I'd like to thank Daniel for your commissioning and your permission of showing this with my class in the workshop. And I'd like to thank everybody on YouTube for watching, and please contact me to place your order if you need a special sale for your business or for your art or just for fun. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.